But I've asked you to come together to hear that machine looking at lattes. They do a good job. It's a good coffee. Because tomorrow we are going to be voting on a very important measure for education. So the purpose of this funding is to carry education funding through the academic year. So it'll carry from this fall through the completion of the school year and cover that period of very difficult economics that our whole country is experiencing and that we in Minnesota are experiencing and here in East Central Minnesota. According to the figures that the U.S. Department of Education has developed, this will affect 140,000 teacher jobs. In Minnesota, we'll be allocated $166.7 million, and the estimates are that will protect, retain 2,400 jobs that otherwise would be cut by local school boards because, of course, the state doesn't have or hasn't programmed ahead to provide support for school districts. And so without state funds, without local resources, teacher positions will be cut, class sizes will increase, students will be less well served, and education will decline in Minnesota.
The No Child Left Behind law is asking us to do more with test scores. We're focusing more on math and reading, talking about all the time, and then we need some extra people to provide that extra help. So the additional funding and then asking the teachers in the district to do more go hand in hand with each other to achieve those goals. So to have any type of extra funding to help with those things, because we're getting graded all of the time and looked at in the public and higher standards, higher test scores. Great challenges for us besides just funding. So it's a welcome sight.
You want to keep that well-rounded education and give the students every area that they need, and not just focus on, teaching to the test. So that's something that concerns us. That they'll take out the so-called extras, but which we know are not really extras, which are needed. So something like this hopefully can keep giving them that well-rounded, broad, basic education going. So we appreciate it.
For every 100,000 teacher layoffs nationwide, there are an additional 30,000 jobs lost in local economies. So it's not just teachers. They earn paychecks, they pay mortgages, they pay taxes, they buy goods in the community, and when they're not consumers, there are other layoffs as well. And as I said at the outset, it doesn't add to the deficit. Now the other party is complaining they just don't really want to see anything good happen. And we're closing the gap by causing those companies that have moved offshore, that have moved to other locations and have revenue generated outside the United States, if they're based in the United States, to pay taxes on that revenue and bring it back to the U.S. and cover our costs here.